What if I told you the latest Guild Wars 2 expansion, Visions of Eternity, might just be a game changer based on the juicy hints we've gotten so far? The community's buzzing with wild speculation, and for good reason. But can ArenaNet pull it off? Or are we merely sailing out into the sunset, buying some time before Guild Wars 3 comes out?
They'll remember us forever.
Let's explore the possibilities. Welcome to Visions of Eternity, where certain professions get unexpected companions. It looks like Thief is getting a gold digger, but this one won't try to divorce you and take all your money. Why is there this money missing out of my account? Hey babe, do you know anything about this? Babe? We also get musical mesmers, and someone performing a ritual, perhaps? What makes me so excited about these new specializations is that they seem like the most unique specializations that have been added to the game. But that's not all. It has been revealed that Skimmer is getting some new abilities. And since Skimmer can swim underneath water, it's highly likely we're going to get some interesting underwater zones. Either one of these two things, unique specializations or underwater exploration, they could be the next big thing.
What do you mean?
I'm curious.
Spill the beans.
Okay, let me explain. When I say the next big thing, I mean a new and unique feature that's added to the game that becomes game-defining. That even people who don't even play the game looking from the outside in can see it and think that's Guild Wars 2's big, unique feature. As of right now, there have been 3 times in Guild Wars 2 which new big things have been released. Guild Wars 2's initial launch, the Heart of Thorns expansion, and the Path of Fire expansion. To better understand how this might relate to the newest expansion, let's go back into history and take a look. Guild Wars 2 launched with several big things. Dynamic events replaced traditional questing. You could adventure across the map and find things like villages being attacked, or someone needing an escort through dangerous territory. I mean, come on. I would choose this system over having to collect 50 pieces of enchanted ham. Another big thing that it launched with was action-oriented combat, which included things like real-time dodging. This made the game feel responsive. Now moving on to the expansions, with the release of Heart of Thorns, the big thing was being able to glide in lush, vertically designed maps. They also introduced interesting ways to interact with the environment. Now we get to the Path of Fire expansion, and the big thing for Path of Fire was the introduction of mounts. Mounts added a whole new layer of depth for exploration. They enabled you to leap across chasms, scale high cliffs, blaze through the terrain at breakneck speed, and eventually rule the skies. With the initial release and first 2 X-Packs, Guild Wars 2 shows that its game-defining features heavily focus on combat and exploration. But after the Path of Fire expansion, we weren't given the next big thing. Yes, there was some good stuff added after Path of Fire, but most of the updates felt like side features or mere enhancements to things that already existed in the game. Take the skiff and fishing, for instance. Sure, fishing's nice to have in a game, but I don't think you're going to be slaying dragons with your fishing pole. Well now, that's the biggest fish I ever seen. And you won't be exploring anywhere very far from the shoreline using the skiff. So it's been a while since we've had a big, unique feature come out. But I think the wait is finally over. So let's dive into the next expansion and talk about exploration. We've conquered the land. We've conquered the air. And now I think it's finally time to conquer the sea. It is the missing component to complete the trifecta of exploration. It's as if we're missing a third of the game's exploration potential. And to complete this trifecta, to me, would be a very big feature. There are some interesting indications that suggest we're heading that way. In more recent years, ArenaNet has added some water-based features to the game. Skimmer wasn't always able to go underneath water. That feature wasn't added until later, long after Path of Fire launched. And in 2024 they updated the swim speed infusions, adding account-bound versions. And if you scroll down through the official announcement, they're adding legendary aqua breathers which can only be used underwater. Let's not forget at the beginning of the trailer, there's 2 ships sailing on the sea. So we're getting water environments one way or the other. We could be traversing large zones of the ocean, above water or underwater. But there's one feature I haven't mentioned yet that they added a couple expansions ago that makes me the most excited about underwater exploration. Up until the Secrets of the Obscure expansion, water that you could swim in was only at one level. You might call it the sea level for the game. ArenaNet fixed this limitation for the Secrets of the Obscure release. Water or air can now be placed anywhere on the map. I hope this gets utilized in the next expansion because there's a certain type of map design where you dive deep underneath the water and you find a cavern. You explore further in the cavern and you emerge in a pocket of air deep below the ocean's surface. There could be some prehistoric creatures there protecting a secret base. Who knows? I can't wait to see what ArenaNet does with water. Now let's take a look at the specializations. Simply judging by outward appearance, these seem to be the most unique specializations in the game. And now that we have had a sneak peek at some of their mechanics, it certainly looks like it's heading in that direction. The Troubadour, for instance, is a bit different from normal shatter mechanics. It even seems more unique than how any of the other Mesmer Elite specs handle it. Whereas normal shatter skills destroy your illusions, the first 4 skills summon instruments. These instruments don't just disappear either. You can have 4 instrument illusions up at a time. The 5th ability is called Crescendo. The more illusion instruments you have summoned while using this ability, the more bonus damage and effects it will give you. With the persistence of summoned instruments and a lack of clones, this could really free up your gameplay style with Mesmer. And now looking at Ranger's new spec, Gale Shot, it appears that Ranger's getting a whole new kit that's damage based. A kit is essentially a whole new weapon set without having to equip a weapon. Normally, professions have 2 weapon sets they can switch to while in combat, but Gale Shot will be able to choose from 3 weapon sets instead. It could even create a little chaos, which is a good thing in my opinion. Another big thing that stands out to me is that some professions are getting companions. Now they're going to be a bit different from Ranger's pets, which are almost always active and spawned in the world. But these new companions only spring into action when you activate certain combat abilities. I prefer to think of them as the thematic reasoning behind changing core profession mechanics. But not to worry, they'll still have some advantages that pets do. They'll sometimes be able to enhance abilities, give boons and conditions, or they could even dig around and find something useful. Which makes me think of the new thief specialization, Antiquary. This new elite specialization is by far the weirdest that I've seen. They've changed the steal mechanics where it's not you stealing, but it's your script buddy that's stealing. And the stolen abilities are quite unique, unlike their previous counterparts.
These filthy animals keep on getting my hands dirty with this gunk. Ah!
No, this time around you get bass guitars and giant hammers and dancing scrits? What? If these stolen skills become a central part of Thief's combat, then this could cause a lot of mayhem, in a good way. Based on what we know so far about the new elite specializations, I see 3 big things that could really shake up combat: kits, companions, and unique takes on profession core mechanics. Maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic, but I know one thing for sure. Visions of Eternity is going to show us whether ArenaNet is simply coasting along with these smaller expansions, or if they can shake things up and really innovate. So keep an eye on Guild Wars 2. It just might surprise you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, Beyond the Wall. I tell stories and show gameplay that's unexpected or unintended. The vast majority of my content is evergreen, so go check it out and I'll see you next time.